she's calling over here.
Yeah, man, them free up.
You can do it.
All the company.
That's your room for their Melina. Zora.
Yeah,
She had only like rolled once or twice.
Yeah.
Just a couple little rolls. And Carrie was over here one day with her little Pomeranian.
Yeah.
And then she realized that she could roll and chase that dog. She made it all the way into the kitchen. She made it to the bedroom. Chasing. And he's like sitting like, what's she doing?
Hi, besties. Yeah, I'm doing my live. Remember, I said I was going to do my live. Get out my bag, Zora.
We started at 9:30.
Hi, Coco. No, because no one comes so late. Hi, Coco. Hey, Cassandra. Hey, Marlene. Good evening. Good evening. Just right, Unique. How are you? Zora, we're not going about your business. All right, besties. So it's Friday Night Live, right? We're not gonna hear a lot of noise in the background a little bit. So we're not gonna hear people talk. That'll be Justin, Nick, and Nick's wife. How are you guys doing? I'm doing okay. You? No, give me my purse, girl. No. Don't be distracting me. I'm gonna call Tanil, guys, because you know we cannot start the live on a bad note. Happy Friday to y'all. Happy Friday to everybody, and congratulations to all the people who actually got their green cards approved this week and got their work permits approved this week, right? Yes, guys, share the live. Coco, you're here, so share the live into the group for me. Mega cards on you. Tracy, yes, you can come on the live. I'm not telling a lie.
I do not support them at all, but I like the fact that they're American. Is truly American in the fact that he does not like America.
I don't think anything is wrong, but that's good though.
He's from Chicago.
Everybody's been scheduled out for interviews, besties. Oh my lord. You know, so I'm gonna make the people hear when I just say that background.
Alright.
Okay.
What? Oh no, man, only can't talk, man, but say the orange man. Say the orange man.
Oh, because the...
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't call it no.
No. Guys, share the live for me. I'm going to call Tantan.
Hey, be careful, okay?
Tani, let me say if we go live 9 o'clock, you know, but look at me.
Show her. No, don't take her thing.
Yeah, she don't know how to like,
That. She doesn't want it now. Yeah, baby.
Hi, besties.
Show her. Let her.
I'm gonna call my partner in crime. My turn on the phone. I need anybody who did their interviews this week. I need you to come up. Hey, little miss. Little miss, your time soon coming here. Say hi, Zora. You want to push your head? I say hi. Hey, besties, how are you?
I've given up.
Alright, Tanila, answer her phone. So me just gonna tell her, say, I start, and when she's ready, she can come. Tantan, so I'm on live. When you're ready, you can come. Alright, so who here? Let me see if I can change the screen and do multi-guess. Alright?
Need help?
Let's see. I'll change the layout. Me I learning, guys. Me I learn. I learning. Alright, hey, Leo. So Tracy here, I'm gonna accept Tracy.
She gets to...
Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, Tracy. How are you?
Hi.
Hold on, Tracy. I'm turn up this. Let me see if I can't hear you. Tracy, you hearing me?
Yeah, you not hear me?
Yeah, me I hear you. I just turn up my phone. These are classes, you know. Tiana, in the chat. I soon bring you up, Tiana. Don't go nowhere. I'm matter of fact, I'm gonna bring you up, Tiana, and make you mute when we bring you up. Request to come in at the box, T.
Hey, go. Thank you.
All right, so besties, this is Tracy. Introduce yourself to the people, and
Yeah, I'm Tracy.
Yes.
And I did an interview today, but I was nervous as Anika can't tell you no. I was nervous. I had to go to the bathroom before I went to the people them car. I'm telling you, it was crazy. But it was nice. The interview was good. The lady was, oh my God. Shh, I'm talking, Mama. The lady she was great. She was, I don't know, she was so calm. She was laughing. She was talking to us. She didn't care about no papers. She was just telling my husband about him going to the bathroom and the baby too pretty and nice to be sitting in no office. My interview take 1.5 to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
1.5 to 2 minutes the interview take. The only thing she asked me for was my ID. And
Record
I said,
time.
that's it. And she said, yes, that's it. And she said, you won't see it she said, congratulations. And you won't see it right now because the system is down. So just wait a couple days or a few hours. And I said, okay, thank you. And she said, okay.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Guys, how I met record time for the 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes interview. I've never seen it.
It's full.
But Tracy met me. No, they don't interview the child. No. And her child wasn't being petitioned for. But let's say this. I met
So she's a U.S. citizen. She's a baby. She's like a
she's
year
a
old.
US citizen. I met Tracy last year. Right, Tracy? Was it last year?
Yes, yeah. It was last year.
Yeah.
Yep. Last year.
Tell me
Yeah.
last year when I didn't come. I can't remember.
I think it was sometime in November.
And Tracy reached out to me for an RFE, right, on the I-864 that I always tell you guys that you should not mess around with. With Tracy's RFE, it was a little bit complicated when we were doing it because, a 3 different application we'd have to do. But nonetheless, we got it started out because you know how it go, right? Justin, come say hi. Okay, you know them want to say a few.
Oh, tell Justin I say thank you too.
Yes.
Have me up last night. That's on fool.
But I met her, we did the RFE and we submitted it. Right? And after the fact, Tracy did it and Tracy I said, boy, I don't want to interview in the honor come. I don't want any interview. I said, boy, Tracy, interview. I just saw it go.
Yeah.
I just saw it go. But I'm happy for her because last night when Justin and I did the mock interview with her, hold on, I'm gonna bring up Tian because Tian did a Tian, once you come up mute.
No.
Hold on, guys. All right, T, mute a little bit here. All right, so the last night, Justin and I, we did a mock interview with her and her husband, and they did really good. You know, they did really good. It was just some misinterpretation of some of the questions, but they did awesome. And just to know, so we asked them more than 100 questions, my love, and them going at the interview 1.5 minutes. Nothing being asked.
Nothing. They didn't even ask to see the marriage license. Nothing. The only thing she didn't ask my husband nothing. She was just talking to him and laughing. The only thing she asked me, she said, I don't know why they sent you guys here. Like, everything is okay. It makes no sense. She's like, listen, let me see your ID. And I'm like, and she's like, okay, just sign here. And she's like, you guys go out, go eat something, go take the baby outside.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, thank you. And everyone, when we were coming out, they were talking to the baby, playing with the baby and everything. And I'm like, Jesus.
Hi, Jab.
I killed myself this morning and wow.
All right. So, Tracy, tell them how long your case has been pending for.
Okay, so I filed my case by myself. I started with the I-130 first. The I-130, I started it 2023. I got approved like 10 months after with the I-130, and that was it. From the case, like from 2023, me I do this case till I meet Annika. I'm like, then this lady messed up my whole I-6 for the affidavit of support. This lady messed it up, everything. And I'm like, what me I gonna do now? And she's charging me to do it over after she messed it up. And I'm like, this lady don't have no sense. So better me get somebody with sense. I was on TikTok one day and I was just scrolling and I saw Annika Annie. I was like, let me listen to her. I'm listening. And then she was like, she just gave me this positive feeling. And I'm like, yeah, let me work with this lady. As soon as I just come off, I'm a text her. And that's where it started. And she did she She fixed the RFE for me because they gave me an RFE. She fixed it. November 12th, she sent it off. I never forgot. And I said to myself, no man, Anika, I don't want to interview. I want them wave it. And me I pray.
Remember, so much Tracy, when we send it off to, the computer, I think was showing you something different. For say
Yes. And I said to you, what are they doing and what's going on? Even in March, I saw they said I would just begin working on your case again. And I'm like, what? And I saw on screen, I'm like, Anika, look at this. I don't know what's going on because I'm scared. I don't know what's going on. Me, I tell you. Boy, I'm not lie. I couldn't hold up my stress because I'm fret.
You say you couldn't hold up your stress?
No. I couldn't hold up my stress because I'm fret. And boy, and a couple weeks ago was like, it wasn't good for me. So I was like, what am I going to do now? And everything worked out. And I see the April 1st, they scheduled me for, they said I have an interview May 9th. So they gave me time to prepare, in which I mean, these people didn't ask me for nothing. Exactly. Nothing.
So Taniel, to Tracy here. Remember when May
Hi, Taniel.
So,
oh my God. Yes. So I've never heard of someone say, oh, I'm going to interview and it lasts a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I've never heard that. So for me, going there now and me not lie, when me I walk going there still in a minute, kind of get nervous. But the lady, she was nice. First, let me tell you what happened. We were sitting at the front, right? And my husband was talking to me the whole time we were sitting in the area, the waiting area. And me and my husband was talking, and then the baby was just touching our face and talking to us, and we were just all over the place talking to each other. And I don't know, I said to him, I like that lady. She looked calm. And he's like, well, anybody, it doesn't matter. Because, he's an American. So he's like, it doesn't matter. Anything is anything, whatever. I'm like, sit down there, I pray for the lady come back in the car. Me see the man come call a number with me a 41 and him call 40 and me I say, me like how the man they looking look like him I go ask me be a question and me I go stutter and turn fool. So me said no man. And then the lady she called us and that's it. She said to me, okay, you guys can come sit here. And when we call in, she said, I don't know why they schedule you guys for an interview. I don't see why. Like, what? And she's like, can I see your ID? And I'm like, okay. She's like, sign here. And then she's like, oh, take the baby out. Baby don't want to be in no office sitting down. No, she don't want to do that. And she was talking to my husband, laughing, interacting, and that was it. I said, that's it. And she said, yeah, congratulations. You're going to see it on the system. It's kind of done right now. And I don't know why they're sending everybody to do interview. While we were coming out, she was just talking to us, and I'm like, okay. And she's like,
bring it up, Jav, because you do your interview today. So I want to know how your interview go, Jav, because you say your husband ball. So,
congratulations, you deserve that and many, many more. I'm so
yes, thank you. I'm telling you, like I've been waiting from 2023. I've done this for 2023. I've been waiting, and it's not like my marriage. Like nothing is. It's bonafide as ever. It bonafide as ever till Pitney Unite. So you must know. I'm like, but me no know. Me not like to. Me say I'm a fool. Me never carry everything. I was gonna leave everything. I was scared. To tell you guys the truth, I was scared. I was. It is stressful. I was nervous. Even when I was at the window and they asked me to see the interview paper that I got, I was there standing up. Even when them asked me. Me I tell you, I'm nervous, me can't find it. I mean I understand, me can't find it and it's right at the top. Like I put it at the extreme top. And I'm digging up the papers looking for and my husband was like, what are you doing? It's right here. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Nerves get the best.
Me I tell you, when she said to me, say, do you guys have an attorney? And I'm like, no. And she's like, okay. The lady asked us that was at the window and she said, okay, you guys can sit down. This is the number, you can wait for it. And I'm telling you, I see people with their lawyers, like with some thick old, I don't know where them paper they, I don't know what. Me I wonder where them what a file ever. I don't understand. It was so thick. A lot of people, I'm telling you, a lot of people was there with some with interpreters and some with lawyers, and I'm like, what them I do with so much things? Like, what's so much evidence you need? And I was then again, I'm thinking like, Jesus Christ, me not have enough evidence. I'm taking out my phone, ready to call Anika and say, Anika, I have enough evidence. Come see people
girl, you're good, man. Remember we done.
That was it. Thank you, sexy laddie. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'm telling you.
Congratulations again, Trace.
Thank you guys so much,
You're
and
bad.
trust me.
Big
Wanna
up
don't be
Kitty.
nervous. I was nervous. There's nothing to be nervous about, cause the people them look ordinary. Them look them. I don't see no.
95
When I was
people.
there, I didn't see no white people. To say white people, I didn't see none of that. Ordinary people look at them take the train and the bus and ride the bicycle. Yeah, me I tell you that's how they look. Them look ordinary, and I'm like, why am I nervous? I mean, I tell them, I never know something that feels so. I say, me ever visit the bathroom before me go
Asking which
inside.
location you went to, Tracy.
I went to Federal Plaza in
New
Manhattan.
York. Manhattan, New York,
Yes,
guys.
Manhattan, New York, Federal Plaza. That's where I went, and I was early. I was early too, and it was a
Yeah.
whole bunch of foolishness there, but it was okay. It was
And
nice.
just said the baby are the evidence. All right. Well, Tian, unmute Tian, because Tian, why you to tell your story, you know, because Tian's thing, Tian never
Hear
get
me?
one work permit. Not a
Well,
work
my
permit.
case was such a long case. Like I applied from August
August.
last year, but I didn't receive a work permit. I didn't receive anything throughout this process. I was like, Anika called me every day. Tian, don't worry, don't. But I said, Anika, you know what? From I'm working, I'm good. And you know that I don't make certain things bother me. But when they send me an interview, I was like, Anika, oh, interview come on, me not get no work permit now. No, now I go on my case, I go back where? No work permit, no social, nothing. My case must go back where? So me said, no, so I could go for the interview. Anyway, Anika trained us for the interview the Monday. Separate me and my husband. My husband was upstairs, I was downstairs. Her husband questioned my husband, she questioned me. Anyway, my husband not get me date of birth good, you know. The hear part. My husband don't have it in his brain. But typical man. So
Yeah.
me I tell Anika, say, Anika, why Anika when me go in? It was a lot of people there. We see couple go in too, couple go in, and then when we go over the next side, because it was two sides, A and B. So when we got B, the lady come out and said 69, because I get the number 69. And I was like, what? So anyway, the husband was in front of me because I have my baby. I have my 2-year-old daughter as well because I bring her. So the lady said, you know what, I'm gonna bring in your husband first. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, so they
Me
got
not lie,
that.
my heart got me mouth. My heart got me mouth. Me not lie. Because me I say, me know what my husband go chat so sitting away enough to chat, you know. So anyway, me say, me I say, when my husband come out, I wonder if me can ask him. But they ask him. I don't have that chance because the lady come out right behind my husband and said, come in. When I go in, the lady said, the lady asked me to swear in. I swear in. She said, where's my ID? I gave her my driver's license. She said the driver's license wasn't taken in the system because the system was down too. I don't know if I word right. The
Always
system was
system down, girl.
So anyway, here 10 years, me said to her, I said, all right then, you want me to go and get my passport from my husband because me not like 10 years, I have a piece of file there. One heavy piece of file. Heavy. My husband have it outside. So I asked her if she want me to go for my passport. She said, no man, you're good. Anyway, she said to me, say,
Like you.
tell me your full name because obviously 10 years she cannot pronounce my name, and I realized because my middle name is unique too. So when I tell her my full name, she was like, very unique. I said yes. So she said, all right then, Miss Douglas, you know what you're gonna do? Just give me a rundown of how you and your husband meet. Just give me a rundown. When she said give me a rundown, 10 years me I said, a good woman this? Yeah. A good woman this, because nobody now in an interview tell us, give me a rundown. Come on. That's what me say. You know what, I meet my husband. She say, when you meet your husband, me say, August, I meet my husband back in Jamaica in my salon. She said, which year? Me say, me can't remember which year, you know. Me meet my husband, but me know it was a August. And our first date was at a seafood restaurant back in Jamaica. That was our first date. And after that, Me visit my husband, me come afar and visit my husband, do everything and whatsoever. So anyway, she said, okay. She said, you never have a proposal. I said, no, my husband never proposed to me. She said, give me a rundown of how that happened. I tell her that my dad gets sick and we both traveled to Boston. And when he see the situation of my dad, he turned to me and said, you know what, Tian, I'm just going to marry to you on my birthday because December was going to finish at that time. So he said, February, my husband born. My husband born the 14th of February. So he said, you know what, I'm going to marry to you on my birthday. And I said, that was it. And that's it. So she said, okay. So she said, me other hand too, because me say, when I got married to my husband, I was 3 months pregnant. And I have baby in the same year that I got married. She was like, wow. Anyway, she said to me, say, your husband, how much time you married? And me tell her, I say, 1 time. And she said, how much time your husband married? And me say, 2 times. And she said, you know your husband ex-wife name? I said, sure. She said, if me know my husband when he divorced. I said, miss, I don't know the divorce date, but I know the year. She
And
said,
she did
tell
say
me
that
the
to me
year,
in the mock
Tian.
interview.
Same way with us.
She said, tell me the year, Tian.
You
I
know me,
said,
it's a cut,
2015.
It's a fun symbol.
Anaka, this all of the ones them with ex-spouses, they're asking. Every last one of them, they're asking the name of your prior spouse. So guys,
Yes.
get on top of
And the
that.
thing is, I asked her in the mock interview, right? I
She
asked her.
asked me,
And she said to me point blank, she said, Anika, I don't know the date. I have to go look up the date. That's what she said. And I said to her, make sure you look up the date. But Tian got interview with the people in the same thing.
no, me tell it. No, she want to hear. She tell me, say, to tell her to hear. So me tell her, say, 2015, and I was right. 2015 in divorce. So she said to me, say, which year me married again? Me tell her, say, 2022. And she said, you both live? And me say, yes. But she have to ask me all the question because at that point, the system was done. She don't know what to do. And then she said, you know what, Tian? I'm going to ask you some questions. It's a yes or no question. And she asked me, say, you work? I said, yes, I work. She said, you overstayed your visa? I said, yes, I do.
So it's effectively.
Yes.
And she asked me, say, if you ever commit no crime, just fit boots up the system for put in my ID. She just asked me so much things. So when the interview done, she said, you know, I'm finished with you. I said, really? She said, yes. She said, I could approve you, but the system is giving problem because you're good.
What Chevy had a chat.
It's not even 5 minutes interview, just 5 minutes. It's not even long because me go there go see people are wait. Because me go there go see 2 African girls and them must say, you know what, see her strokes? And I say, what you say? So anyway, they must say, you know what, say, my husband in there wait. I will come out left them husband long time and them they were there still waiting. He said, I could have approved you the same day, but the system is not working. So me come out and hear me now. Anika, they say system now work. So me I wonder why. Because me not understand how this system now work every time. System now work. System down.
This is everybody's system.
But it was good.
Everybody's system
It
has
was
been
good.
down.
I thought you know, when the interview finished, I tell her, I said, this was a good interview. I thought my heart was going to come through my mouth at first. And she said, you know what? I don't like people scared. And it was a good interview for
You
me.
get a good officer.
Yeah, she was nice. She was nice. And you know, she asked my husband, because when I come out, I asked my husband, why I asked him, she only asked my husband 3 questions. His address, is my date of birth. Yeah, she asked him. And him said when she asked him, and he said May the 25th, but he don't know the year. She said typically man. So me I say a good somebody that you know from your ear. She said so a good officer that nobody now gonna tell her that. The typical man. Yes, we know a man don't really do well with dates.
Exactly.
Yeah, and she said typical man, and she asked my husband about him ex-marriage.
Yes, and the Stokes interview, even with a baby, and their Stokes interview was not bad, right?
Yeah, it wasn't bad, and I'm not feel afraid of. Like, yes, we got here with a lot of stuff. Girl, no one see me that kid big. A I mean everything. When me ask the lady say you're not gonna take, she say you submit papers up till March. We don't need nothing. That's what she tell me. She say
Yeah,
you submit paper
I
up till
had
March.
to.
We don't
I
need
had
nothing.
to T. You see why? Because when we started out this case, T looked for me when I give her the list and said to her, say, I need all of these. T said, where am I going to find all of them here from? I'm going to say, no, T, we need to build a strong case. And T said, boy, Annika, I don't know, you know. I don't know, but I'm going to try. And she did try. And we sent in what we were sending in. And then when I realized everything went quickly from the time we submitted, she got her biometrics like probably like the next 2 weeks time. And everything. After that, nothing else.
Nothing. Me say me not know because me always I say and me I one day for me case I go back here because no work permit, no social, nobody like me not get that. People
And she
get
was
that.
the only client that I had that this happened to. And I said to her, I said, T, I said, first of all, compounded with, she really wanted to go home and see her grandma, right? Because, you know, her grandma is very sickly and stuff. So she really wanted to go home. So we did the travel authorization. Even though I advised her against it, she still ended up, you know, wanting to do it. Because she said, Annika, I'm not fearing anything. So compounded with that, I felt like that kind of lengthened her process too in even trying to get the work permit. So,
I bring every paper documents. I bring every original documents as well. I print off 200 and odd papers.
What a big tea, because I tell her to print stuff.
200 and how much papers, Anika? I print off everything. I do a portfolio. I adjust everything. I did it nice. I'm not gonna lie. I did it nice.
Hold on there. You're not wrong because you're Annika customer. You for your fear customer that you're gonna do, girl.
I tell you, the amount of things where she tell me, she me said,
Well,
amount of paper my brain.
hear me husband, Tian. Me not think so. Them want take that from you, know. That's way big.
Tian say me build my portfolio.
Yes, Billy. Yeah, it's big. Everything documented.
Look here, they're the front of the class, students, they're going to leave them. Right.
And it was well, I'm gonna lie. Anika, do a good work, trust me, she know. She call you, she check up on you, she find out if you're fit. Mr. Anika, you know, so from me I work, me good in Anika. Me not have no problem, me not think about Jamaica like that. Because guess what? I have a 2-year-old daughter that goes to school. So in anywhere, me have to think about here, so. Because me have
You have to call in and check in with her because I say she's the only one in a Taniel. I mean, every minute I say, T, you alright?
You know, say, Taniel, you know what? You know what I said? I said to myself, say, you know, say, my case not really regular. I mean, I'll get no 2 year, me know a 10 year me I go get. So me just ease myself then, because me just have to ease myself in it.
Listen, I have one customer I watch right now. That's why I'm share it to her. She not get no work permit or nothing, yeah? I mean,
Lad, okay,
thank God
there's
wanted to
nothing
get
to
a 10
fear,
years.
sweetie. There's nothing to fear. You can do a lot of stuff. Everything me do, me tell Anika say, you go girl, everything me get without whatever I need. I just try to read and try to do stuff that me can get to move along. I have a driver's license. So me can move along. Me can do what me I do.
Which state? Which state you in, T?
Baltimore, Maryland.
But what ya? I mean, people them there in Maryland too.
See, so Maryland, link up with you.
Sure. You don't know if you listen. Maryland, she that to a fear won't take long too. What if it's a Maryland thing?
May I wonder?
Yeah, I think a Maryland thing because
No,
you know what?
I'm not going to feast on a Maryland thing.
No,
Because
guess what now? My cousin go in like 4 weeks before me go in. And she only 2 years she go get. And all know they don't approve the case. She go for interview and all know she not get nothing for approve. She not get that.
And a Maryland too?
Yes, and a Maryland she did too. Oh no, she get work permit and everything and she go in for her interview and I know they don't approve the case.
well, I mean, guys, each case is different, and we keep saying it.
Yes, it's
Like
different still because me the things said they did not take certain things from me. So you see, they're not taking nothing from me.
We have 150.
Yes, sure.
That is the baby not stand because me I said me in our bona fide marriage. Me husband, me I talk to my husband like 7 years before we get married. Long time. So me have evidence and stuff. So and I like I mean, I know, I just have to say every case different, just that.
Yeah.
Because me, I'm a
Alright,
baby.
besties. My thank Uno. Big up to your 10-year green card tea.
Yes,
And
sir.
burn
Yeah,
up to your
you.
10-year.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm telling you, you know what the lady do? The
What
lady
you do?
approved the I-485 first, and then after me, I said, then that, Anika, then the 130 now approve.
For your
I want that.
485, you're gone clear.
Tell her
So
to
that if
load up
Anika say,
alone.
Tia, gone, I'll know then update the,
When
that
are the
means that
other
you
way
must.
around? When are the other way around? Come here, one lady where I other way around and I'll know.
Wow.
Cause my
And
I
then
I
in
want
the
30 approved
evening now,
long
you see the
time.
I-130 approved.
Alright,
And
guys,
it's
so
a
I'm gonna put
soon.
other
Yeah, the
person in the
reading.
box. But
All
big up
right.
to Uno.
All right. Thank you guys. Everybody that
Alright.
say congrats. Thank you. And thank
Yeah,
you,
man.
Sir
Tracy
Anika.
and TT, congratulations, guys. Like,
Thank you,
you know,
Taniel.
You.
Thank
super happy for
you.
you guys.
Thank you,
Alright.
guys.
Yeah, and I hope everybody can work off a full
Yeah.
experience because everything is totally different. Just
Yeah.
keep it fair and just move along. Just do what
God
you
on
have to do.
time.
Just
As
work
your
do
Sharon
what
will
you
say,
have to
God
work.
on time.
God on time the things
Yes.
because nothing do before time. Trust me, nothing
True.
do before time.
Thank
And
you,
this is a
Sharon
proven
Bless.
testimony. 9 months? Come
Yes.
on. Without no
Oh
work
God.
permit, no
Me never have
social.
the work permit either, you know, cause me never file
Oh,
none. So that me never file none at all. And when I tell me say
so
Anika, you think me should have filed it? What you think
and
me should
trust
have
me,
do?
just do the
I was
paperwork
me,
and just have your faith
me
because
just
trust me,
pray to God.
when I have two person on the panel, we work, we do know, and
Thank
we
you.
work
Work. No
do
man, we
things.
work. We don't know about
Trust me,
nobody
me know.
else, but me
Me
and
know.
Annika, we put in the work.
Trust me, 10 years me I watch Anika from Anika just come on TikTok and me always I send her a message.
Thank
Always
you.
I
Tell
send
you,
God.
drop me
her.
on
Me
TikTok, my
say
love.
Anika, you're doing good
All
job.
right,
And me
bye
say, you know,
guys.
say me have to
Anika,
put in
how
the
me take
paper.
down myself? You have to take me
Yeah.
down.
So, guys, let me tell you now, when I work with two nice young ladies, we go all out. Go all out. So,
Just
now
me
have
invite
nothing to worry
you.
about. Just come with no evidence. That's it.
Thank you, baby. Thank you,
All
T.
right, take care. Bye.
Alright.
Take me down.
Alright. Hey, Java. You girl.
Good
You
night,
girl with the smell
guys.
fat. Come tell how the thing go. So first, tell us where you went.
I'm gonna go Long Island City in a Queens
In Queens.
because we live Queens, yeah.
Alright, what time was the interview?
12:30.
12:30. So how did you think your interview went?
Why? It did good and it did bad.
Why you say so? Come
All
tell
right,
me.
so we did get one African man.
Oh, you
Yeah.
say it so. The way what you say.
So, all right, so once I was going there, we're going to the room. Man, I really don't understand what I say, but I just work with the program. I just want him get to the depth and me come out and do my business. So him say we have to put up our right hand because him have to go swear with Ian and whatever. Anyways, we repeat what him say. After that, after we do that, him say if we sit down, if we have the documents, we want to give him. Anyways, we give him it and him did it and say, take two look or something. So him say, alright. The interview gonna start right now. I'm gonna start with my husband, and when I interview my husband, me you know for send her on, and my husband him a talk to, not me. Anyways, him ask my husband when me name, my date of birth, and how we meet, right? But the thing is, my husband never remember the name of the supermarket when him first see me, right? But my husband gave him the address at the supermarket, but he never remember the name of the supermarket. So when him do, him go on him computer and look up the address. And look up the address to see if there is an actual supermarket right there. Right? Him ask him that. Then after him ask him, what him ask him after? Him ask him how we meet, date of birth name, or when last him speak with my mom. And if him know the name of my mom, him ask him that. If him know the name of my son, if him know the name of the job where I work, him for describe the house where we live in. So you have to describe the outside and inside of the house. How much the furniture them value in the house.
Murder.
And spread it that way.
What else him ask him? Oh, what the closest supermarket or food store to the house. So when my husband tell him Western beef and the next supermarket, and then him tell him Popeyes, and him go up on the computer and look up what the nearest supermarket, right? So other from that, what else? Let me try to remember what else. I think that was it. Anyways, now, yes, I'm doing that part, yeah. So when him ask my husband how we meet, and my husband I tell him, Lord God, the man start ball.
Wait, that your husband start ball job?
Yes, when him I go down in the details. Yeah. So when my husband say, my meet her through cousin, same say what the name of the cousin, same say, I'm not gonna tell you a lie, you know. I don't remember the cousin name, but the father and me a good friend. So anyways now, when him there, and my husband I say, you know, some women come and go, you know, some stay part-time, some stay full-time, but I trust her. More laugh, but the man say more laugh, and the man say, remember, this is an interview. So anyways, and him there a ball, you know, I want and temper. When we done at the hospital, she had the only one must see me, so my kids them, and nobody, but which is true in my talk, which is true. To sleep there with me, she left and go to work, you know. With him, call me. She are the only one what did it for me, and same say why they decide to marry her, right? Same say, well, me did catch one bug one time, and him whatever, and him never expect me for clean up the, you know. So the man said, okay, all right. So the man asked me if him smoke, if him drink, and something else. Anyways, now the man say, miss, your time. Them ask me what my name. I tell him say what your husband name. Cause the man have one paper, you know, with all of the question them write down, you know.
And then I started doing Bolden's stuff.
The question right down for where him ask me and my husband. So anyways, him ask me when my husband born, what here, I'ma tell him. So him ask me when my husband work, I'ma tell him which part my husband work. So him say, oh, you and your husband meet. I don't want to hear the same story as you and your husband. So I'ma say, sir, listen to me. I say, oh, me meet my husband. No, I say, I'ma tell him. I met my husband because he got me a job. And all me know him, and my cousin make me know him. And the first time when me see my husband, see him when him act when him see me, I saw me tell the man, I say, sir, sorry my excitement, but me have to tell you all my husband when him see me. Yes, me see you. You're the man. All right. Me I say, sir, I saw my husband see me for the first time. That was his reaction. Me dey on a phone call, me end the phone call and talk to him. So him say, where was that? I said, Key Food and Merritt Boulevard. So him say, all right, okay, good. So hear him now, cause remember my husband no remember the name of the supermarket, you know. So you remember that supermarket? I say, sir, me that stay with my cousin on 227 and Merritt Boulevard. That's the only supermarket right there. And that's where we shop when we need our food. Bam, done. So him say, how much kids your husband have? So me tell him, so him say name them. So I tell him, all of them name. Anyways now, him say, do your husband pay child support? I say, yes. Hear him, how many kids? 2, I say 1. Him say, how much? I say 2. I say no, I said 1. I name the picnic. I name the picnic where I pay the child support for. That's the name of the child. So him say, he is the youngest. I says, no, sir. He's the third to last one, so you understand. Anyways, now, him say, what else him ask me? Oh, yes, out of order. If me a walk on the road, yes, if me a walk on the road and you see a lady walk up to you and say you thief her husband, what will be your what? What would,
Your reaction.
what would be your answer or something like a
Your
so?
reaction. Your reaction.
I say, sir, listen to me and listen to me good. You see, when me and know my husband in a 2023, and him put me in our house for live, and me and him never go there go see no wife. And if me, a married woman, and me see one woman come in my yard, and me no know her from now, a young girl, she can't welcome and another family member. So make sense when me know my husband him single. Check from 2023 till now. Yeah. Then hear him, you know, you're young and he's that age. What's the age? You know that's a big age gap. And then him say, what's the age gap? So me did say 20 something and him I say no, sorry. Then me said 30 and him say yes. So him say, why you don't want somebody that age? I say, sir, these young boys these days, the only one jumping in your crutches and lead you to the wrong
You tell
way.
the officer, Job.
Yes, sex.
No, Job, wait. I say you tell the officer.
Mr. Sir, these young boy only want sex these days. And
Yes, I will run away for you, sir.
what's that? Me I tell you, same like come tell the man. These young boy want sex these days and influence young girls for the wrong thing. Dating, which it can go vice versa, but dating somebody older than you only motivate you to go do better in life. Them encourage you. If you want to go to school, they might tell you, say, yes, baby, come, we will help you.
Man, I like me jack on me.
So listen to me. Age is just a number. Age doesn't define if you love a person. Yes, I know, but make me tell you this, me love and me want my husband.
I tell him that. You yes.
Of course.
Same so.
So, me tell you, say age doesn't define where if a woman want a man, yes, I know.
Yeah, right.
Age is just a number. And then after that, I will ask me say,
The man is so like him the tasty though.
yes.
All him could be my husband could that there with him, cause trust me, Justin would have probably angle him.
I will ask me after. I don't want to miss nothing, you know, come here try, come I have to remember that man day in a life.
Yeah, girl.
Yes. Remember him is an African. Can't forget that part there. What else him say?
But
Oh,
Jack, me want know. You
Well,
get
I
your
know.
ring, girl?
No, him say him don't do approval and spot.
After I'm done drill you, so?
And him then now him take what him want, you know. And him go through the album from front to back.
You sound like a bad mind officer.
And him take out what him want. Come here tell us saying a girl, I fix up the album real good, you know. So him can't say a lie. Me all have picture when me and my husband are sleeping at the hospital. Big up to the nurse, the RN. Anytime husband come at the hospital, yeah, they make me sleep there with him.
The interview was today, Shanna. She do her interview today.
Yes, but as what we say, me nah lie, you know. When time I come out, you know, I feel like me that thump down the man, you know.
Job, how long you did in her interview for?
You know, say it never did too long, me nah go tell no lie.
So he asked too much question in a one limited amount of time. Him serious.
It never long, but him go like him want twist up your brain little.
Right.
Nah tell no lie. Him go like him the one twist up your brain. Then after him ask me the question, him say, me for put my finger right here, I'm gonna take finger and look up in the camera, I'm gonna take your picture. Then him ask me one bag of question, if me ever whatever to prostitute. Me say, sir, no, look how me young and look good back on a prostitution, them brighty. So then we ask him one
Which
bag of
office you go
question.
again, Job?
Eh?
Which field office you go again?
Oh, in a Queens of Long Island City.
Yeah, somebody saying bitter for true. In the little bit and frowns. They look
Well,
what it is little bit.
and they make the man a
Bitter and
listen to that,
frowns
yeah, you
is
know.
too bad. What?
Huh?
Man, he back out your face.
True. And him take the some of them and him scan it. But I don't know about me see a paper sitting in my right pan paper. Me didn't
Them
see that
always a
right.
right on paper job, trust me.
I see him right pan paper and you know the look of sticky notes them. I see him right one of that pan paper and paste it pan sitting.
No, Vanessa, she not. Them a go give her one job. Your green card I gonna get approved in the name of Jesus.
Yeah, by
Of
Monday
course,
morning,
yes.
bright and early.
I just say, listen, I left everything in a God and you know because I say the end of the day, I know where man say, and where God say, I God have the final say and one thing with me
Exactly.
when we go down from them two knee.
And you know what to them they are sing. When Jesus say yes,
From in a week, yeah.
yes,
No,
yes.
from in a week, yeah, that song, yeah.
Vanessa?
From in a week, that song, yeah, dip on my mind. I think from last week or another week, yeah. Fill my cup, Lord, fill it up and let it overflow. So, as what I tell you, I feel a little weird in myself, you understand? I'm not lie.
Me know why you feel no way because sometimes you go to the interview and they try to do the most.
But
They
the end
try
of
to
the
do
day,
the most.
I just say, you know, I gotta have the final say. If
Yep.
God want me here, he might go make me stay here. If him no want me here, I just stay, you understand? But when me I go my prayer, I say, God, they say walk by faith and not by sight. And this morning me I walk in a faith, but in another building there. And me I tell you, say, Anika, me is a person like this, me always nervous. And me I tell you, say, me not feel that come over me.
Yeah.
Me not feel that come over me. I say, Father God, if it's your will, let it be done.
Amen.
But pray and I beg God, I say, Father God, even now, shut up every negativity from around me. I say, Father God, even now, every plan of the enemy, we cancel it in the mighty name of Jesus, mighty God. We uproot everything, every evil, every pina in our mouth, every obstacles will come away, Father God. We are going to overcome it. Yeah.
He's a praying girl.
I'm
He's
a
a
beg
praying
God.
girl. From the area talk, say he's a praying girl. And as me say,
Of course.
Jesus say yes, nobody can say no. So him can sit down there and him can do all him wants. All him wants. But trust me, me live for see right to say I come right to son and say, Annika, drink can't get approval.
But as Mama say God never did want me to get it today. And when at the time, me I go get it, I just sit down and wait patiently. Because you see when time I sit down there in the waiting room, I see around five email and when time I go upon it, I just see action taken on your case and no.
Them approve it, man. Because Annika, you know that some officers not approve cases though. Them do the interview, then it goes to the supervisor. And all of them approve. And all of them.
The man say him like for review back the whole thing and then him do whatever.
So you really can't knock him for that? You really can't
No,
knock
I
him.
feel look opinion that I understand, but
Exactly.
you know, as I tell people, I say me and my husband relationship is not a fake relationship. Because me, this is what I believe in. I believe say if you don't want somebody, I'm not going to waste my energy and time to say me I'm going to marry you or none of them something. They know, sir.
Exactly.
I'm always start it. If I don't want somebody, I'm not go.
Alright. But thank you so much, Jav. And as we say, yeah. I think that you will get your green card. I mean, if I think, I don't say you get your green card.
Yeah, get it.
Yeah, we're gonna talk to Shorty and then have somebody
All right, take me down.
Talk to. All right.
Big up on yourself,
Someone
people.
come up too. Big up yourself, Jav. You're gonna get you something straight.
Yeah, man, take me down.
All right. All right, Shorty, is still here? Hello. Your moderator. Me not put you as moderator already.
I think you're only doing for that live.
What kind of match is this? Hold on, the baby. Shorty, you can go ahead there.
Hello.
How are you?
I never want to come live because I don't want to load up my thing. But I'm going private. So
moderator,
you know, I got to, bring the crowd or whatever. But my interview I did Tuesday gone. But some have high blood pressure yesterday, but can't do see. Them never approve it on spot though, but
A shot,
Tuesday,
please.
8 o'clock, huh?
A shot? Shots? I'm not even gonna call out your name. Okay.
You want to be anonymous, girl.
Well,
We are
yeah.
trying to figure if a shot. Me don't
No,
know.
no shot. This is a shot. All right, so my interview did Tuesday, 8 a.m. in Hartford. So I got interview. Me and my husband got the interview. Me I look at who that I come on or something. So we got the interview and we got one man say I got escort we in the room.
Zora.
And them thing them I say, alright, him take we look up documents or whatever. Clean off my finger for me do the fingerprint thing, and then my interview was over the computer. Black American lady. And she come on, we wait until she come on, and then she said, oh, she got interview my husband first. Well, she got ask him some questions first, like he must confirm him name, him date of birth, where him live, where him work, and all of that. And then she asked me the same thing, like confirm my name, my parents' name, my date of birth, and all of that.
Might try to find our time.
Yeah. So, when we meet. So I'm gonna tell her when we meet, and she said how we meet. So my husband said, my cousin daughter birthday party. She was like, oh, so him have a daughter, so why wasn't his daughter there? So him say because him daughter did the Brooklyn, I want another party. So she said, oh, but it was a child's party, it's a friend's party, so why not? So him say like, but just state why not? And it must say, we are Caribbean people, so even though a kids party, adults are gonna do that too. She say, oh yeah, we have that culture here too. So him say, yeah, exactly. So you get my point. And me was wondering, so me want to tell him if it take time, but me don't want to be shaky. So she said, oh, we have a 13-year age gap. So she said, oh, but she's so young. So me I say, age no matter to me, miss. Me fall in love, so you can tell me
Exactly.
about age. And she say, why me overstay my visa? Me say, listen to me. Me come up July. My grandfather died August, and the funeral was September when I was supposed to return back home. He was like, oh, but you still didn't return home. Why? Me said because the funeral was September. And at the September, me this return, and me never did I go miss my grandfather's funeral. Right?
You can go ahead and do it now, because I can't find her. But go on,
And
shot.
I said, oh, me never did I go miss my grandfather's funeral. She keep on pressing me about high school in Jamaica, like college. And I said, no, me only go high school. She said, so no college. Me say, miss, I did all of high school in Jamaica. Me did start 6th form, which is pre-college, but me only do college. And she asked me again, like, so no college in Jamaica? I said, no college in Jamaica. I start college here. She said, oh, so is this your husband's first marriage? I say, yes. But he has a daughter. So you have any kids? I said, not yet. So you're planning on having kids? I say, yes, when I'm done with nursing school. So you're in nursing school now? I say, yes. She asked my husband the same thing. Because them have it together, and then them send me out. Right. But me gotta know. She asked me why them send him out and then interview me one, and she mostly did that say like why me overstay. That I did most of her question, and why him mother never did it. Me tell him say me not sure. Me think she did sick. But my husband tell her say she did her work. The mother did her work. And we are go keep a bigger celebration when most everybody else can come. So I should have asked like who was at the wedding, when we go for the first date, when we move into the house. She wanna know the exact number of siblings. Me say me don't know the exact number of siblings because my husband don't talk to everybody, don't talk to them, but who him talk to me, him talk to 2, me give him the 2, me give her the 2 name they went talk to, and say me know him have others, but You can't pressure me if you know everybody. Him don't talk to them, so me not talk to them either. Me not know them, right? Me know him have them, but I don't. She was like, "What's the exact number?" I'm saying, "I just told you I don't know the exact number." So she was like, "All right, me in a school. How long now? Me in a college. Who living in my household? Me say my father, my husband, and my brother. If my brother work, me say no. If he contribute to the house, me say not financially, but you know him help out with the house chores or whatever. When my husband work schedule, me say him go at 5:30 in the morning, come back 5 o'clock in the evening, and him don't work on such. So she asked me like if him have like she say when him get the daughter, so me say every other weekend. So if him have some visitation thing, me say me not know of that. So is the stepdaughter's mom okay with her being around? I say of course. When we meet the stepdaughter, me say me meet her cousin yard. When she a play with me little cousin, and then we go restaurant after. And then she call me, she make them come escort me out of the room, calling my husband and asking questions about why mother never there at the wedding. And him tell her say they are planning to have a bigger ceremony and thing. And him actually say like him say she keep on a pressure him about the age gap. He must say I told you say age no have should I
say you answer the people
The audience wanna know, shy girl, if that's the tone you answered the officer in.
No.
Because she had tell the story. Oh yeah, tell the story, then feel like I saw you talk to you.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but the two of them my husband answered them it was horrible. Me answer them proper. I me speak English to them because that's so you know. And she was like, so why? Because him did get me stuff, so she asked him over and over about the age gap. So he must say, why you married me? And he said, oh, I fell in love with her, and she told me her story, and I wouldn't like my wife to get sent back home to how everything is going on now. So she was like, oh, so you married her for her to get her papers? Some husband said, no, I didn't say that. I said I fell in love with her, and I decided that I wanted to help her. And
she's just nice. I get it. Because me there, I wonder the same thing too.
Yeah, come just a try it like you see me I look at them and I say I really so short you go answer.
No. Me talk to them really proper. I'm sorry. But cause me never nervous, but me I say when she asked me about the mother, me never sure why the mother never come in and she does never see she show up. So me I say what me think. So she I say she calling me in and then she call me back in together, and she I say oh she not gonna approve it same time because she gonna review it.
Charity at her house.
She's going to review the case, and then we'll get a letter in the mail within 30 days.
She said that she was gonna text me all of that, so I don't know what. No, go ahead, Charity. Don't have to.
Oh, so she will say she's gonna send a letter to us within 30 days. Like so if it's approved, then we'll get the letter. If it's denied, we'll get the letter, and if it requires more evidence, we'll get it in the letter also. So that was Tuesday. So me there and Fred panicked yesterday, and my pressure got sky high. So me I wait to see what them I say. But on the online portal it's a they're reviewing the case.
Oh, so you not get no approval as yet?
No, she said she not approve it. Same time.
Girl, just so let me tell you, sometimes we just have to move by faith, as I always say, not by sight, and always manifest things into your life because
that's what I'm doing. Cause me tell myself say me I go Jamaica week after next, so no more see what am I do.
Alright, so Vanessa, I'm so make it talk. Sharty, thank you so much for coming up and sharing your experience. I know somebody must learn something from you, right? And big up to you and come back to the platform once
Oh,
you get your
yes.
approval, right?
Okay, I will.
All right.
No, I'm gonna get
Oh,
approved
JR,
yet.
good
No
night.
man, once you get it.
No, tell me in the comment section.
Oh,
Not
all
yet. My
right.
interview was Tuesday, so I'm waiting.
Okay, no problem there.
Okay.
Just tell all the people that I see you. You're not even would have come say hi
Hold
to the
on.
people.
See, on everybody get the white paper. On every officer get the white paper with it check off.
Exactly. Guys, I'm gonna
Not
call one of my
everybody.
clients. So since everybody wanna know about the military girl, she's from Cameroon. She doesn't speak patois. So me I beg you know. She well spoken. Okay? Say hi.
Hello.
Laura. Hey, Justin.
Hello.
Hey Queen. All right, Queen. I'm gonna put you on speaker, right? And I want you to tell we have like 200 and something people over here. I want you to give them your experience because a lot of persons when I posted your approval, they're asking, oh, she went to the interview alone. Why did she go to the interview alone? What happened in the interview? So I want you to give your experience of the whole interview. All right. So I'm gonna pick you on speaker.
Accommodate something that working out
All right, Queen. You can go ahead.
Hi, Dee.
They're
Hope
hearing you,
you all
Queen.
are
Don't
doing
worry.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Me? Okay, I don't know where to start. Is someone gonna ask me a question or should just go
No,
right
so
on now?
all right, so I met Queen guys through her husband. Her husband is in the military. He's the one that reached out to me. After the fact that I filed the paperwork and I needed to go over the application, he then gave me his wife number. And you know, it was the first time that I was speaking to her, right? So they're both from Cameroon. She was living in Dubai for a while, and then you know, she ended up here. So, Queen, I want you to give them your experience when you actually went to the interview. What actually happened? Hold on, guys. Shouldn't that bad. Guys, I think our connection is bad. Give me a second. Queen? Yeah, no problem. I'm going to put you back on speaker. All right, so just tell them what happened in the interview, like what questions they asked you, right? And how was it?
Okay, it was like pretty straightforward. Got there like 30 minutes before my interview.
Don't mind the noise
Stayed
in the background.
outside
Mm-hmm.
until it was like 10 minutes to time because it was really packed. So I had to wait outside till it was like 10 minutes, and then I got in and we had to go sit at the waiting area after getting, of course, my fingerprints taken and pictures. And once that was done, we had to sit in and wait at the waiting area. My interview was scheduled for 10:45, but I ended up being called around 11:30. So once I got in, like when it was my turn to go in, and I was like walking towards the entrance, once the officer called me, I was walking towards, and he saw me. I was coming all by myself, and then he was like, "Oh, okay, ma'am, where's your husband at? Is he in the bathroom or something?" And I was like, "No, he's not with me. He's currently deployed." And he was like, "Oh, okay, you're going to give me a minute, okay, because I need to go speak to my supervisor and I'll be back. Just go sit back down." So yeah, I just went and sat back down. It was a little bit nerve-wracking, but then I was like, okay, whatever gonna happen is gonna happen. So I sat back down. He went back in, stayed in there for almost like another 10 minutes, and then he came back out and then called me in again. So once we walked in, he was pretty chill. It was a very young guy, actually, like really young. I believe I'm older than him. I believe so. Went into his office. He asked me to sit down. He was like, "How are you doing?" He was really nice, to be honest. I told him I was great, and he was like, "Hope everything is good." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, take a seat. We're going to start." We sat down, and then the first thing he said to me was, "I'm quite new to this job as well, and I haven't handled a case like yours. So anyways, let's just go right into it." And then the first thing he asked me was, like, why did I leave my previous country of residence to move over here? And I told him, oh, obviously, because of my husband. And it was like, okay. Like, I was trying not to give a lot of details or like talking too much. I didn't want to say a lot of things. I just wanted to give straightforward answers and move past it, because sometimes you might start saying a lot of things and then you end up babbling, and I didn't want to do that. So I just said, yeah, I moved here because of my husband, and that's it. And then he's like, where did you guys get married? I mean, when did you guys get married? And I said, like, 20th of August. And then he's like, what did you guys do after that? I'm like, we went over to a little, what's that thing called, fast food place, and we had like a little celebrations. We are friends that were present and stuff. He's like, who was that? I'm like, just our witnesses and a couple of other friends. We didn't really have family members involved because we wanted to keep it small, and also we were working around our finances, so we didn't want to make anything huge at the moment. Once we were much more settled, we were going to make something bigger. He's like, makes sense. I'm like, as well, the military doesn't make that much money, so we needed to be really meticulous about our finances. And the next thing he asked was, all right, so all the while you've been here, have you been staying just with in Texas? Like, what's going on there? I told him, yeah, I've been living with my brother, because of course, once I got in, we got married. My brother went straight in, my husband went straight into school, and so I had no other choice than to go stay with my brother, because I do not have socials, I don't drive, I don't have nothing, so I could not stay by myself. So I had to go stay, somewhere that my husband knew I was going to be safe while he's out there in school. And so, yeah, that's it. And it was like, okay, that makes sense. He's like, so what are your future plans? I'm like, well, I was supposed to move down to go join him once he became settled in his place of work after graduating school. But due to the fact that he was immediately deployed after that, we need to move that to a further date. And then he asked about, do you have any other documents aside from, the stuff you guys submitted once you originally filed your case? Do you have any other thing that you have now that is recent and new? I'm like, not really. Just, the normal stuff. And I have the phone bill here with me that he covers. And he was like, okay, I should give him that. We went through that for a minute and then told me he's going to print it out. And then he also now asked me for if I had any letter to prove that my husband was on deployment and stuff. So I gave him the letter that was given to me by my husband's boss. And I also gave him my husband's letter of support. And he got both of that and printed it out. And yeah, so he now told me, all right, I think that's pretty much it. And then he went ahead and asked me, the normal questions like, have you ever been in a terrorist group and blah, 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 which was everything no, of course. So he now told me, like I told you at the start of the interview, it's my first time handling a case like yours once your husband is not around and is on deployment. So I need to speak to my supervisor. And once I'm done with my supervisor, we are going to call you back or reach out to your husband if we need any additional evidences or any other thing within a week or maximum 2 weeks. And there you guys have it. Pretty much it. Within 15 minutes, I was done and out of the room. He escorted me out and told me, thank you for coming. And that was pretty much it.
Yeah, and I know Queen was a little bit nervous. I'm gonna go back to the part where Taniel, she had the whole notion of, oh my God, when am I gonna tell them, about us, not living together, had to move so quickly. Husband got deployed, had to move to Texas. One of the main reasons too, she couldn't drive in snow. So, it's better for her to be with family and be where she knows, people would be able to support her. And she's like, all right, Annika, I'm so nervous. And I started to tell Queen that, look, you have to speak to your future plans with your husband, because I know you and your husband sit down, you talk about things. What are you going to do once he gets back from training? So that's what you're going to speak to. And I gave her a pep talk, right? And then after giving her that pep talk, she felt a little bit better. So yeah, I definitely told her, get all of those letters, have your husband, have his commander write the letter, have him write an affidavit too. So we were prepared going into that interview. It wasn't something where we were just unprepared. We were prepared.
Preparation is key. It makes a difference. It makes
Yeah.
a difference.
But thank you so much, Queen. And she did get a 2-year conditional green card. So I know once her husband gets back, they'll be planning their futures together. All right, Queen, I do appreciate you coming and, giving your experience. And you're my client and I love you so much.
Thank you so much. You are such a huge help. You guys can trust on
Sarah, hold on.
anything.
All right, Queen. Thank you so much, Boo Boo.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
you're welcome. Bye bye.
Vanessa will be next. You can add Sarah. Add Sarah, you're gonna have to wait though because Vanessa is next, so she'll add you, and then after Vanessa, then you can go.
All right, Sarah, go ahead and send the request.
Good evening, everyone, or good night, rather. So first of all, I know, well, Annika didn't do my Nortenia, but I must say that I did use Annika's page really to guide myself and my mom in knowing how to file. First off, I went yesterday. Is it yesterday? No, it wasn't yesterday. It was Wednesday. I went to the Albany field office. My appointment was 12:30. I got there about 12:13, 12:14. I stuck around a little bit downstairs and then I went upstairs. After that, they gave us some numbers. We went through security and all that good stuff. And two we looked, we got called back. We did the whole fingerprint, and they talked with us. But one thing that kind of made me started thinking was when we got to the front desk there to do the fingerprint for myself and taking the picture, the lady that was coming to interview me, I didn't know she was coming to interview me, and the man was like, she asked him a question. I didn't hear her clearly, but then he was like, "Oh, I just texted you." And so she came out through the front door, and then after I was finished with him, she called my name, and I was like, "All right, ready." And when we got in there, we did the swearing in. After we sat down, I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought I would have been nervous, and I was not nervous. My husband was so casual, like he was just talking like he knew them from a long, long, long time. And me, I was my composure. One of the things I say though, I brought my son with me because he was in school, and I was like, I don't want to take the chance of leaving him and then you hear CPS get involved and then there's another banger rank from a go figure out. So I bring him with me, and then I'm not gonna lie to you, he was starting to give a lot of, he just not get antsy. So she popped out a paper out of her printer. So she was really nice. I must first say that. She took out a paper out of the printer. I think she was like Asian or something of that descent. She took out a paper, she gave him a pen, she gave him a marker, and he was there writing and whatever. But I'm telling you, I think I took him when he was about to go into his nap time. So he made me very flustered because every minute I had to say, "Stop, Mark, when the people in window." My friend said, "Come over here." So till at one point the lady had to ask me, said, "Do you guys speak English?" So I said, she said, "Do you guys speak English and write English?" I said, "Yes, we do." After that, no, she started, first of all, she went into our both of the application, the I-130, she went into the I-485, and then she went into the affidavit of support. She asked me who was the person, so I told her the person name, and then she was like, "Who did the contact?" And I said, "I did." And then she's like, "Does he know her?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he came with me when we were doing the whole paperwork." Then after that, she asked me the general questions like the whole prostitution. Have you ever been a part of any organization and whatever, whatever. At one point, Annika, I'm not gonna lie to you, when my son started making me get flustered, she asked me a question and she was like, what's the name of your mother-in-law? Annika, I didn't remember no say the woman first name start with D, but just tell her the middle name. Then she said, "You remember your mother-in-law birthday?" I said, "No, they you know, I said, Jesus forgive me. I said March. And then I start getting it. But it's like, cause him start make me get so flustered, and I was like, "This is crazy now." I almost walk out if he told him. And then after that, now she's like, you remember your, she's like, what's your father-in-law's birthday? So I tell her the birthday, And then she was like, okay. And then after that, now again, she asked one of the questions and she's like, where does all the paychecks go? I said, ma'am, myself and my husband, we have a joint account, but we also have our personal account. So she's like, why doesn't all the paychecks go in the account? I said, because one, when we first met, we had our own personal accounts. And, I don't think it would be just for me to just say, shut your account down, and I shut my account down and just go get an account to, this was the way we chose to go. Then after that, she was asking us, how did we meet, each other? And so I said to her, it was a mutual friend of ours. He came to the church, he visited, and then that was it. Like, I never saw him again. He was just out of sight and out of mind. And then after that, he popped up back. And then she's like, when was that? So I said, like, in the pandemic, thereabout. And then I knew a red flag went off in her head when I said this to her. When my husband said this to her. So she's like, when did you guys started dating? And truth be told, Annika, I did not date long with my husband because of my background in the sense of religion, where I stand. So she was saying so I said to my husband said to her, we started dating like about March, April, thereabout. And then she's like, but you guys got married in 2022. And so we were like, yeah. And so I was waiting for her to ask us why. So I could really just say to her, because of religion, I did not want to put myself in jeopardy. You understand what I'm saying, of sinning and all of that. So I said I waited. But the next question that she said, and she was trying to, shake the atmosphere a little bit. She was saying to me, oh, she said your son looked just like him. So I busted out laughing to mellow the atmosphere. And I said, yeah, I put in a lot of work too, but I didn't get no credit. So, she kind of chuckled and then she went through the question. And then the way I started getting so frustrated, she asked me, she's like, did you violate your non-immigration status? And my almost said no to her when my son started driving up the wall and mark on the people in the window with permanent marker can't come out. So she shake her head and try and nudge me to say, yes, I violated. So I said, yes, I did. I did violate it. So
Yeah, because your
that,
attention split.
yeah, because I had to be saying stop it. And then at one point, my son started acting out again. And then he was to his father, oh, I need space. And then him started telling me, say, him need space. So then she turned it around into a joke and said, yeah, my computer needs space too. And the computer stopped midway. And she's like, I need space too. So she's like, let's just give it a moment and then it will come back. So we waited there and then she's like, y'all need a break from this kid. And I did not answer her, but I was really in agreement because I'm telling you, he was just driving me up the wall and I was just like, this is crazy now. Then after that, while we were there, she even had to give him a stuffed animal to play with, and that did not quench anything. And then her final question that she did ask was, where did we live together? And I had to tell her the truth. I said, listen, we lived at this location and whatever. And then her remark was, you guys moved a lot. And I was like, yeah, there's a lot of reason to be, behind that. And as the young lady said before, I tried not to babble, like I stick with what it is that she was asking. But my husband, I'm telling you, I was so mad with him. At one point, she asked us, why is it that we took so long to file? I've been with my husband since 3 years. But the reason why we didn't truly file, it wasn't so much about the whole green card when I met him. It was the fact that financially we weren't there to take up that responsibility. So I told her, I said, that was the reason why we didn't file. And then in borrow, yeah, because me have the green card. I say, Annika, me go down the car, me mad. Me say, yo, me don't want nobody talk to me. The way me so mad, but turn on my phone and put it on do not disturb to 4 o'clock the next morning. I say, me don't want to hear nobody talk to me right now. That's why I'm peace and quiet to come yard. And the way I started feeling stressed, my head me started thinking somebody want to go Dunkin' Donuts, me want to go everywhere there. Cause me stressed. And then when we did here now, she made me sign a paper, say at first, and I did not remember, say at one point I was, when we were married, I was living at my mom for a little bit because I had the whole postpartum and then financially things was just really rough for us. So we never had a place. And so we moved. So she said to me, say, sign this paper and just to say that your information has been updated. So she made us sign to agree that we did, live at an address prior before this. Well, we did that to give us the white slip, and she said, I cannot make my decision today. I am sorry, but you will hear from us soon. So my husband now will comfortable and bright. So when we are going to hear back from you, so the lady says, sir, you will hear back from us. in 2 weeks' time. I say, yo, and I'm like, yo, you shouldn't even ask that because I'm mad with
This
you.
is the
Then
second time, though. Vanessa, I think this is the second time I'm hearing people say they're going to hear back in the next 2 weeks' time. I don't know if that is code for we already approve you
I think
because
so.
everybody
I
that
think so.
says it to me, they get
Yes,
their approval
literally.
either the next day or
And
probably the
that was the
next few
same thing.
days.
That was the same thing that had happened for me. And I think because I brought my son, that was also what topped it off. And then one thing I really appreciated about my husband, he stepped in to discipline our son. So, that really showed that he has authority. And I never, I'm gonna jump in and say, oh, leave him alone or don't. He corrected him. And then Anika, one of the point again, my husband nervous. So we had a little private wedding. Like we never had a big wedding because our plan was after 5 years we would have upgraded the rings and have a big wedding where everyone can come together. And after that, my husband, she was like, oh, so who was at the wedding? So we started counting because we had to, we were nervous. We have to make sure so we get the right amount of people.
Yeah.
So we tell her, oh, finally tell her no. So she's like, okay, so where was his father? So no, he's such a person to her. So where's she cut the question right there, so and then she said to him, say, so where is your father? So he's like, oh, my dad is here. So she's like, so where's your mother? And he's like, oh, she's in Jamaica. Then she turned the question out to me. She said, where's your mother? I said, my mother is here. So she said, oh, I thought you came to your father. So right there, someone knows that she make a human error right there. So I say, I hope it mellow the 2 hours because you make error, me make error. So I said, no, I came here to my mom. And I said, well, technically, I won't say I came here to my mom. I really came here to visit, but I just stop it right there. So then after that, no, she licked that question and she come back up with the same wedding question. So she's like, so where's your mother? I said, my mother wasn't available. And she said, where was your father? And he was like, oh, my father was not around. So she said, but your mother should have been there. So my husband go say, it's a private wedding. I said, Anika, I'm going to the camera. I said to him, sir, you know what is a private wedding? I said, that is a red flag. What the man said? My mother, it's a private wedding. I said, not like in common sense. She should have been a part of it. You get what I'm saying? I'm her daughter. I'm her firstborn. And I'm like, your father. But can't understand, like, you could have tell her the truth in your situation. But he didn't. But when she said that to us and she gave us the white slip, she walked us out and, all of that. And we were okay. But as you said, Anika, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like I practiced the questions that it is that I thought generally would have been asked when I knows I should have go through the whole,
Yeah.
farm and application. I think should have got asked like some question like, which side of your bed you sleep on,
Yeah, no,
the
that's gonna be
apartment.
nice.
Yeah, and then she asked us for the other documents that we needed. Then at one point we give her the life insurance my husband have, and me as the beneficiary. She's like, no, you could keep that. So I'm just take it back from her and put it back in my file jacket and go about my business. And then me tell her say I had so much anxiety. I come home and I was just like, I tell her I'm stressed. But I'm also say, listen, I don't want to hear nobody on my aid. Me just over laying on the couch and me I go sleep. I'm gonna sleep and sleep to me hear something else. But thanks be to God, today I got a notice about 3 o'clock there saying that we have taken action on your case. So by the time I look, they said that it was approved. So yeah, because I'm telling you, I gave them every evidence. I never held back anything lightly. My husband was on my car because at the time we were just sharing one car. And then me don't know how she knew this. My husband just got a car, but it's not in the state that we live. He registered it. So out of the blue, she's like, so how many cars do you guys have? Someone said 2. So she's like, so how long did you guys have that? No, I said about a month or so now, which it was the truth. My husband just got a car, because we were just sharing the one car that we had. So it was all good. So yeah,
Vanessa, let me ask you, where did you go to do your interview?
this was the Albany Field Center.
Why the full of the Albany them though?
Yeah, but Anika, I really wanted to say something. If I can tell anybody this, you see, if there's ever 1 minute I doubted or somebody doubted who was president, I'm telling you, you would be a foolish person to not know. When we went there in picture frame, up, I didn't call the name, call me no one get no trouble. The picture frame open, you see the little winking sign, you can look like him and look through your soul. And then when you look at the billboard at the side, it has said, if you're coming to America wrong, you have the time for leave. And then I said, Jesus, what a bam bam. And then I'm telling you, you could feel the tension.
Vanessa, you're mute.
Okay. Are you hearing me?
Yeah,
everybody that I saw that came in, they had their attorneys, and it's like their attorneys was just drilling them in the waiting area, and I'm like, yo, y'all should have done all that prepping from like before y'all got to
At
the door.
least last
Y'all
night.
waited, yeah, like y'all waited too long. Like I don't get what you're doing right now, but I'm telling you, they were all tense in the atmosphere,
But
all
Vanessa,
tense.
when did you do your interview?
I did my interview this Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
Yes. I'm sorry. Actually, it was Thursday. Thursday.
Thursday? Okay.
Yes.
And today Friday.
So that was
Yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. People are gonna
Yeah.
come out door the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. People are
Yeah.
gonna run out door.
Yeah.
Right through.
So that's
Yeah.
good though, Vanessa. And congratulations. And I want to point out one thing what Vanessa
Thank you.
said. Vanessa said she used my page for file her paperwork. Yeah? You hear what Vanessa said? She used the
Yeah,
page.
because I'm not gonna lie, Anika, I'm gonna be very honest. I didn't know much about Tanit until I really got into your page. But there was this one line, I'm not gonna call nobody name, but there was this one line that I was following and looking at. I'm gonna tell you, so when my mother asked her one question, I have to chat about her for that one. Yeah, who girl said to my mother, say, "Me go block you." You probably know who me and talk about already.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it wasn't a rude question. We were just saying to her, if I don't remember what was the question exactly, but
Nobody in this chat do not type
Don't
our
talk
name.
nothing. We don't need nobody guess nothing, no
No, and if you don't
speculation.
type our name, I beat you no. You hear me? All
yeah,
right.
so it
No
was like,
speculation, none.
yeah, and then I'm telling you, like, I was just saying how, unfair it was, like, in the sense of, like, it was just like a one question we were asking, because she said, the floors were open to ask any question, but I'm telling you, she took us by surprise. She said, "I go block you and remove you from the live." I was like, yo, it's time for me to just say, lift up, God. So, yeah.
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 Hi guys, can I just ask my
Yeah, man.
question
Go
if it's
ahead, Sarah.
possible?
Give us a second,
Yeah.
Vanessa. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah, how are you guys? First
We're
of all,
good.
Hi, Sarah.
actually I have a question. My fiance just got approval last month, but NVC said like they will send me a paper until a month. But I was wondering, it's not been a month, but if I don't get the paper, what should I do?
So it's not a
You can.
paper. You're gonna
It's an
get the
email.
email.
It's an email.
You're going to get a
So it's
welcome letter from them.
Yeah, so is it like it's gonna be exactly 30 days or will like should I wait after 30 days as well? Because the
So when
letter says
2 weeks, so Sarah, we know what you're talking about, and I'm not going to cut you. When 2 weeks passes, you need to
mhm.
either do a public inquiry to get your information. If you don't know how to do it, you can either reach out to Tangular Eye.
And it
Okay?
happens quick. Once you get it, like everything else follows suit.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Oh, okay, so like it's been 2 weeks, but I couldn't receive anything. So should I go to the
I
website, right?
mean, you're probably gonna get it by next week. It's not far off. I know you're anxious and you've been
I'm
waiting.
sorry, I
But
was like
no,
nervous, like I
I
just wanna
know.
finish it
I
because I've
know.
been waiting for so long
But
and you know,
Sarah,
But give them one more week.
once it's approved, like trust me, because I've done this over and over again. It's literally like you're probably gonna get that by next week or the following week, and then everything after that is gonna be
Very quick.
very quick,
Very quick.
oh,
very
thank
very
you
quick.
guys. Make me happy. I was like, oh my gosh. I've been waiting and waiting and I never see after I went like the first time I see my fiance and I never see him because in my country is like fighting and stuff. I cannot able to see him. So I
Where
just
you
want to finish it
from?
and he come Afghanistan.
Okay,
Ah.
Sarah, you sound like you're really in love though, but it's gonna happen. Trust me.
So
But
But
hopefully he
Sarah,
reach
just
out
give
come
to
them
when
one
another
of
week.
us though. If you need some help, reach out to one of us and we'll be more than happy to
all
help you.
right.
But K1, once
Thank
that
you.
I-29 is approved,
Pass.
pass.
Yeah, it's got approved. I couldn't even believe it. Oh my God. I once when I was approved, even I cannot like believe it that I got approved. Like he got approved. I was like so happy.
Oh, congratulations, Sarah.
Thank you, thank
You're
you.
welcome,
Thank you
dear.
guys so much. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
answering my question.
All right, dearest.
Yeah. Baby Rosa, just to answer your question. So today, one of my customers' green card got approved last week. and the social came in the mail today. I wasn't looking for it. So I was like, okay, it seems as if it's the work permits, Annika, that they're not doing it.
I don't know because one of my clients is waiting for her green card from she got approved like the last part of March. When we call USCIS, they said to us like it's giving them issues in like producing the card. And I'm just like, okay, but they sent her social for the green card, they sent the social. So I'm just thinking that it might just be, as you said, the work permit.
Yeah. So the green card, for the green card guys, the social came in the mail. But for the work permits, no.
And I wanted to post this, after I called Taniel. And I said, Tan, what is USCIS going on with? And I said, I don't want to burn down TikTok, with this foolishness, Next thing we go post it and then people are what? But since me know if me go post it, but one of my clients got our work permit approved today. And instantaneously as it approved, the interview schedule.
Yes, the same thing happened. No, literally, the same thing happened to one of my customers today. Work permit approved, and one of them yesterday. Interview scheduled.
And the thing is, it wasn't even her paperwork went in probably like in April, like 2 weeks before April ended. 2 weeks before April ended.
I believe.
And the problem when I think I lie, but probably I tell, but I can post it for y'all.
And I had one. She did. I like do the biometrics, and the next week after the biometrics, the interview scheduled. Not even a month, guys, and the interview scheduled. That's why it comes back into evidences and doing your application properly and having enough foundational supporting documentation. So when you go to your interview, you're not tossing about documents and papers, right?
When you bring in the heavy on a portfolio.
Yes, that's it. Work on the portfolio.
You better work on it. You better go and dress nice. Because when Tracy went in, Tracy said, no, I think I'm overdressed for this place. Everybody was in their kickers and jeans pants. While Tracy and her husband dressed nice.
Is the immigration officer still here? Sir, if you're here, what is wrong with the computer? Why is everybody computer?
Immigration officer here for true, sir. I want to ask you a couple questions.
But he said, so, Nasnaya asked him if he can come up. He said, no, he will lose his work.
Immigration officer.
I know if it's your people, She
would like to ask you some questions because guess what? Vanessa, we're gonna take it a little, and me and Tanya will go question the immigration officer.
I don't know if he's still here, sir. If you're here,
why? If you're here, put up your hand and say here. But I like to ask questions. Did they get rid of all the IT people?
Because the computer always a glitch.
The computer keep glitching. The computer keep freezing. And then the computer they can't update anything. So did y'all get rid of y'all IT people? I only have one person working for the entire 50 states. Let us know. We'd like to ask that. Yes, we'd like
Shaquille, are you still here? Shaquille,
hi, nice name, Shaquille. Come up with a question, yo.
But Annika, since before you bring the next person up, let's just re-emphasize like the benefits of starting off strong with evidence, Annika. So,
say hi to Chin Chin.
Chin Chin. Chinny. Right, Annika. So just key points. Talk about like supporting that application with those bona fide evidences.
All right, so guys, it's something that me and Taniel cannot stress enough, right? So I'm gonna come out of my patois and let's speak English here so everybody on the live can understand what I'm saying. Whether it be you're Jamaican, Cameroon, Ghanaian, Nigerian, wherever you are in the world. Now, evidence is key to your case. No matter how small you think your evidence is, you can always build on your evidences. When you come to somebody like Taniel and I, and we say to you, here's a rundown of things that you can use. And when we say, let's make those evidence make sense, we're talking about, we don't want a joint bank account that is not being used. Because if we send that in, that's just like a shell account with $20 in there that he started the account with. We can't use that as evidence. USCIS will look at that and destroy that. Like in 20 seconds, look at it and be like, okay. When we say if you have a joint bank account, not everybody's gonna have a joint bank account. Not every relationship is the same, and we sound like a stock record saying this, but it is the truth, right? Tracy had different evidence from what Tian had, right? And different evidence from what Vanessa had, right? So we're saying to you, being immigrants, the evidence cannot always be one-sided. Every time I see a case or see somebody come to me with a case and it's all one-sided, the immigrant is doing everything. Everything. There's nothing that the citizen is doing. That's such a big red flag for USCIS. And this is the reason why sometimes when you go to your interview, sometimes they dig you down like that. They dig you down like that because what you're presenting to them don't make much sense. And I feel like they're trying to ask us as immigrants, we're the ones that trying to live here, trying to get citizenship here. And they're asking us for things that are normal or regular US citizens don't have. So it's you trying to prove your worth to come into their country or to stay in their country, right? But you have to build with your spouse. I hear a lot of people say, I don't know if it's bandula or what, but we were really busy with them something there. But I'm saying, when you hear a lot of persons say, oh, don't get no this with a man, don't build with a man, don't what. But you got married to this person. Are just the papers alone you do it for? Then how is it going to work out for you? You have a lot of people who said, well, we didn't bring any evidence in there. But if they should sit you down and tell you what their interview was like, then you would be shocked because of all the questions, the interrogation that was done. So persons like to come and they like to say, well, I never bring the evidence in. I didn't bring anything in. But at the same time, how was your interview?
Exactly.
What was it? What questions were asked?
And if we go back, Annika, you know, we work with a lot of customers and stuff like that. And if we go back with sex, we have customers that we work with. We also have customers that we kind of like inherit where we didn't do it, but we've helped them along the way. And then you have another batch where we don't really help them, but we do like a mock interview. Mm-hmm. And you can tell like the ones who come correct with evidence, like when you do your case properly, and as Annika said, you might have did enough to submit it, but you kind of build it as you go, and you're prepared with your evidence. Your interview is not horrible. It's not a horrible interview. Versus if you go and your evidence them did shaky, that's when them digging it down. And we can pull like 50 people right now between me and Annika. And if we look at the statistics, you can see that the ones who present well with really good evidence and organized, it's not as stressful. It's not as hectic.
But and the thing is, one of my clients said to me, are these the questions that they ask? I said they can ask you these questions, or they don't have to ask you these questions. But usually how, we do our mock interviews is based on what your whole entire relationship is like. Everybody's Saturday and Sunday is different, right? So if I should ask one of my clients versus Tanya client, like, so, what did you do last weekend? It's totally different. It's not going to be the same thing, right? So I'm saying stop comparing your case to other person's case, right? Again, we sound like stock record, but until y'all get it, then we're going to stop saying it. And a lot of persons are here that just not getting it.
Pick up in Annika, Mr. Immigration Officer, what's wrong with the computers over there?
When they?
It's always system glitch. He said they're trained to pick up on fraud marriages as immigration officers.
Yep,
they can tell. They can look on the little flimsy evidence. Some people never make no effort. Like, and I tell people all the time, like, if I was an officer, you go see, it's obvious, guys. Them can read between the lines.
They don't understand. All right, so look at it, Taniel. If you and I, as trained immigration consultants, trained, Taniel and I have a lawyer that we ref cases to. Because again, we're not like all the types of immigration consultants. We know when to ref a case to a lawyer. We're not going to play Jesus. We're not going to play lawyer nor attorneys on nobody's cases, right? So we know when to ref it. If me and Taniel can sit down here, and when somebody come to us and they say, from the get-go, like, okay, you know, this is what my marriage is, and then they present the evidence to us. And then from the get-go, we pick up like, huh?
You sure you're in a one bona fide marriage?
You know
That's
about
what
the
I
marriage?
wonder. Like, you're sure? You're sure this real? Because it's like, okay.
Like, this is here, Tian. Tian was, me tell you, so Tian was like, Anika, I don't have anything new. I said, that's a lie. Because you're in a relationship. Me say, if you're in a relationship, there's always updated things that you can give to me, right? So I updated, like I call it, I said, what about the credit card that you guys have, right? Wouldn't you have had different credit card statements from the prior months that you guys had paid bill from? That's an evidence. I can use it to update on your case, right? So she kept on saying she'd never have nothing, and then BS, if you see Tian case, if you go on my computer, Taniel, and open up Tian folder, just open up our folder, you see how much evidence we have created since August of now.
Zora, put it back on.
Yeah.
Annika, I had invited Overflow to come talk about his experience. Because I know him have young baby. Overflow, send the request. And there are two. No. Overflow, send the request. I know you have young baby. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Come guys, we're gonna end.
Oh, let me add that. Jody, you still wanna come? Let me ask Jody.
Yeah, so we probably can take.
Okay, let Over come. I will talk, Jody, and then you can go after.
Okay.
All right, good night.
All right,
good night.
Over come. Good night. How you doing?
Blessings, everyone. I'm all right so far.
All right, great. So I wanted you to just talk about your interview experience, if you can, give us a summarized version
Okay.
of how that
Okay.
went.
All right. So my interview, as I was just saying, you have to trust God because I have a testimony because my I-485 was denied, and I'm a born believer. I'm a Christian, so I also believe everything that I do. I put God first, and I believe. So I get denied sometime June or July, something like that. And I did send in my evidence. They said that they never received it. So I have my picture.
Be a little bit more specific, guys. So they said he never submitted the medical, which he did. So somebody assisted him to do an appeal, right, to reopen it, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So I did send the picture of when the evidence was medical was submit. So they said if I have proof that I send it, I can file to reopen the case. So I filed to reopen the case. They did open back the case and they refund back the money to me. So they scheduled me for an interview. That was the 24th of April. And I went to the interview. I brought everything, all the evidence that I have, and I brought my son. So I was sitting there for a good little while. Everybody go call and go do the interview and stuff like that. So I was sitting down there. And my wife was like, they're not going to call you. I said, yes, when they go to call us, just to let us have a little patience. And while I was there, I was praying, and I see it was like 4-person leave. So I hurry up and make a bottle of food for the baby because I didn't want the baby to go in the interview and not making any noise while eating while the interview was going on. And trust me, my plan and God plan is 2 different plans. The baby don't drink all the food long time already and did they cry. And we hear a name call and we get up. And I started to smile. I feel so good. And the first thing as the lady opened the door, she said to me, she said, is that your child? And I said, yes. She said, what is the name of the child? And I said, Emmanuel. She said, oh, wow, so interested. So same time I start walking, we go in the room, and she said, she will enter herself and introduce herself. So, or like, should I say, I'm Kim. I'm going to be interview manager today. And she said, Emmanuel? I said, yes. Then the baby looked up on her and started smiling. She said, God is with us. That's what Emmanuel mean. And I said, amen. And that's where it starts. It's like it was not any interview no more. It was just like we was just talking and laughing and stuff in the and the lady said to me that she said, you know why I take so long to call it, because I was here looking for a form on the computer and I could not even find it. But I did 2 weeks of fasting and I pray and talk to God. I tell God, oh, I want him to do it and stuff like that. And while I was there, a lady was just paying attention to the baby, start playing with the baby, and she said, I'm still looking for the paper for the interview, and I cannot find the paper on the system. And she said to me, say, if I know you did have a baby out there, I will not even take that long. I will come and call you and get you guys out here real quick. So she turned to my wife and she said, you have family in Jamaica? She said, yes. And she said, how far your family live from Kevin family? And she said, and she was my wife answered and she said, you guys want more kids? And she said, we said yes, but not right now. She laughed and said, of course. And then she started talk back to the baby again. She was just paying attention to the baby, and the baby was just praying, playing, and making noise. And she said, "Don't worry about the baby. Don't worry about the manual." And I turned to her and said, "The baby birthday is tomorrow." And she said, "Oh wow, that's so interesting. Tomorrow." So she said, "What you guys plan?" So I told her that we go to have a little birthday party for him and our pastor baby. She said, "Okay, that's fine." She said, "Kevin, I can see that your birthday was in April. What you guys do for your birthday?" And then I said, my wife, she do a little surprise birthday party for me because we went to church. She said, where that happened? I said, then we go to church Wednesday night for Bible study, and then she do a surprise birthday party. I did have an idea that she was gonna do something, but I never know it was tonight or Saturday. She said, okay, that's fine. And then she just asked me, she said, she still has strolled on the computer and just pay attention to the baby and playing with the baby and the baby making noise. And she said, I'm still looking for the paper, but I can't find it. She said, all right. She said, all right, let's trust God. And she come off the system and we just talking just like
Oh,
everybody.
wait. The officer said, okay, let's just trust God because she can't find what she look for.
Yes, she can't find it.
Okay.
And after that, then deep down inside, I was just telling God, thank you, Jesus. And then she said, you enter the country on a B2 visa, right? And I said yes. And she said, do you ever get locked up yet? And then one of the asked, and I said no. And I said no. And she said to me, she said, okay, well, your wife I-130 is approved. And then she was saying, then she stick up in and she start look on the baby and she start smile again. As I said, all the interview was just the baby, just the baby, just the baby. And then she said, did you update the birth certificate for the baby? And I said, no, but we have it. We have the original. And she said, can I have the original? And she said, I don't need nothing more else. I don't need nothing more else. Just the birth certificate is enough. And I already have all the evidence that you submit, so I don't need anything more from you guys. And then she said the 29 is your anniversary. And I said, yes, the 29th of April is our anniversary. And she said, okay, all right, guess what I'm going to do for you, Kevin? She keep on saying it is approved, it is approved. And she said, I'm going to wait until the 29th to approve your case, because if I go ahead and approve a case today, you're gonna get 2 years, because that's the favor that God have.
So she literally waited until his
Right.
2-year anniversary.
Give him on a 10-year.
So she said to me, but I did tell God before that I need the 10-year. I tell God and I write it down. And after that, now she said to me, she said, you know, I'm not gonna call my name. She said, you know, I could have go ahead and do the approval right now. So you could get it, but no, I do not want you to spend that money. I want you to save the money. And she said just wait until Tuesday, when is it 29, then I will go ahead and process it and update it. So check back your status Tuesday, you will see the approval. And she said, I'm so sorry that I have you and baby Manuel out there and your wife waiting that long. And then I turned to her, I said, no, no problem. And while she said, all right, she made me sign one. I signed a little paper. I signed the paper that that they always have you to sign. And basically that was the interview. And then while I was walking out, the baby stopped at like 5 to 6 at the immigration office door, and he was just looking in. And the lady started to smile. I said, I heard the baby in there. The baby is so happy. And then she said to the baby, you want to approve some green card for me? She said, baby, you offer some green card for me. And then I walk out and I said, I told her thanks. I said, nice to meet you. And she said, oh yeah, that's you gotta get through. And then I started to rejoice. I just started to tell God thanks. So most likely she said she do the approval for the 10 years. So God is good. I just want to tell somebody tonight, if God do it for me, he can do it for you.
Yes, Kevin.
If he do it for me, he
Like that,
can do it
Kevin.
for you. And there is nothing that God will not do for his people. All we gotta do is just to be humble and to be patient. That's all he need us to do. So I just want to tell somebody tonight, it doesn't matter what the trials and the tribulation that you may go through. You may feel down, you may feel like God is not going to answer your prayer. You may feel like is not going to come true, it's going to take a long time. Trust me, God know what he's doing. He know what he's doing. God know what we desire. God know what our heart desire. Before we even think about going on marriage, before we even think about filing, God know what he was gonna. God know what he's gonna do. He know it. So schedules for interview, going to an interview. Trust me, just leave it to God. Just leave it to God. Because guess what? On my way to that interview, me and my wife and my sister-in-law and my brother, we was just praying. We was just praying, and trust me, tears of joy was just coming. Little bit more, I enter over on the property crying. My God, I tell you, say, if God do it for me, he can do it for you. He can do it for you. If he do it for me, he can do it for you. So I just want to tell somebody tonight. You see, whatsoever you're going through, is whatsoever those documents that's sending, listen, just lift your faith and pray. Just lift your faith and pray, and it shall surely come to pass. He said, even though the vision tarry, it shall come to pass. It shall come to pass. So, my brothers and sisters, just listen, man. God is going to do it for you. He's going to do it for you. And I was going to work. She never updated the Tuesday, but I did understand. I did have patience and I did wait. And I was talking to God and I said, God, she told me Tuesday, but I don't see anything updated as yet as Tuesday. And you know what the Lord told me? It already done. It already done. And I was going to work. I think it was Wednesday morning. I was listening to a voice note, and while listening to that voice note, I feel like a joy, and on my way to work, I was just looking in the spiritual realm, and I just go, bo, bo, I just lick two spiritual shot, bo, 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 bo. And I feel so, and trust me, by the time I do that, oh my God, my wife told me that. She said, she said, I get an email. And the email was that your case was approved. I said, God, you're good. I said, God, you're good. I said, God, you do it. You did it, God. You did it, God. So listen, make we not look down. Make we look high to the one above. Let us look high to this man, Jesus. Because guess what? You see, if they went and they deny my farm, my I-485, and tell me, say they never get it, the devil is a liar. The devil was a liar. The devil was a liar because he knew, say, when God word speak, it shall surely come to pass. And guess what? I'm mad, I'm mad. But guess what? I'm glad. And I testify, man, and I tell God thanks. Brother, sister, they're telling us, man, nobody give up, man. Tanil, you know my first night become for your life.
I remember about a year ago.
All right.
It's been a year.
All right. I remember the brother that was going through. He was going through a rough time with his wife. He was
Yes.
going through a rough time with his wife, and he feel like he think that he was not going to get through. And I talked to him. I said, brother, listen, man. Nobody give up, man. Gotta go come through for you. Come on, come through for you. No matter what the situation may be. I'm me tell you, say, brother, you me cry, you know. Me tell you, say, me cry because me feel to say, God now come through for me. And Taniel was there
Don't
talking
forget
to him,
encourage your man. Because I remember when
encouraging.
you called. Me have to
Yeah.
snap you
And he,
outside.
oh God, I'm gonna tell you, say the man get through. He text me, he say, what floor? Oh God, man. You and Taniel, me say, talk. You see, Taniel help me good, you know. He said, brother, me thank you for the night. Me glad me know you, you know. The man, even what he called me, and he said to me, say, it's overflow warm, you know, yeah. He said, me know, yeah, man, but everything I come to, man. And me call him today because he was at work. I think it was today or yesterday. And I called him, and I was telling him, and the man was just laughing. He was just laughing. He said, man, actually, you know, I'm glad for you, man. So let me tell somebody tonight, man. Listen, it's when Taniel and your friend file, you know, no worry yourself. You know, just live in our faith and trust God. Back them up in their prayer, man. Because them a pray for you too, you know. Them a pray for you. Every farmer they send in, them pray. Them pray a prayer. And guess what? God now gonna make them start the process and turn it down. So just trust God, man.
Thank
Just
you,
trust
Kevin.
God.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Love
so
that.
much. Yeah, thank you so much for coming. I know I told you last minute, but I appreciate you sharing that experience and giving the people hope. So, Kevin, we're gonna cut you now if we go to the next person. Big up yourself here.
All right,
Love
thanks for
yourself,
calling.
Kevin.
All right, blessings.
All right. All right. So, Tan, this would be the last person.
Okay.
All
All right,
right.
good
Just
night.
you.
First of all, thank you because I used your page to submit on my own. I used your page and a lady on YouTube. I think her name is Ksenia to fill out my
Ksenia
forms.
Yeah, Annika always talk about her.
And
I
I
met Ksenia
also took
years ago, and I spoke to that girl. Let me tell you something. She is good. Yeah.
she's great. She
Yep.
goes form by form, update by
Yep.
update, line by
Yep.
line.
Yep.
And I also used ChatGPT because I was paranoid. I also tried to reach out to a certain lawyer, and based on what she was saying is I have no case. I'm like, okay. Spoke to other few lawyers. They let me know because such lawyer was saying I have to give 3 years of taxes. I spoke to other lawyers who said, okay, if you don't have all of that, but you have the most current, you can. So I'm like, okay, I got that from 3 lawyers. I'm not gonna take one lawyer over 3. I went ahead. I followed some of your steps. I don't have a lot of joint documents, but I'm gonna give you a list of what I submitted with my case. I did concurrent. I gave my husband's birth certificate, his U.S. passport, my birth certificate, marriage certificate, my joint tax returns. We don't have a joint bank account, so I gave an affidavit stating that we had our bank accounts before marriage and just kept it like that. But we do share financial responsibilities through. I have my husband's bank card linked to my Apple Pay, and we do Zelle transfers back and forth to cover payments. And I also submitted my son's birth certificate because I have a 1-year-old. My husband's, he does make above the amount, but in filing taxes, he has a lot of write offs, which brought his income lower. So we used his mom to fill out form 864A because we do share the same address.
So you did use her as a
Yes,
household.
so I used her as a household member. So
Okay.
for her, I submitted her
Much front of the class, girl.
her her tax returns, her tax return, and I think her W-2. I did give my husband's 1099, even though it shows separate than what's on his taxes, because 1099 has full amount earned, the taxes has less. I gave that. I gave a bunch of pictures, even though I was told not to. I have a picture. It's like a photo album I have in my house. So I compiled that with others, and there's a picture of me breastfeeding in there.
somebody said I cannot submit that because they're gonna deny my claim. I'm like, it is a part of my photo album, so I just submitted it anyway. I also did affidavits from my family members from Jamaica who visited us here in the US. So my mom came and saw me here. She wrote an affidavit, had a JP sign it, and mailed it to me. My brother came and visited us here also. He wrote one and signed it. My question now is, I got my work permit this week. So on his tax paper, the preparer spelled his first name incorrectly. I didn't catch that until the state I live in sent me a letter to say they need more information for her state taxes because I already paid whatever he owed for IRS. And when the letter came, I'm like, they spelled your name wrong. So I went back quickly for my 1040 to see what was on there. The name was spelled wrong. So I quickly went ahead, went to IRS, downloaded the transcript to prove to USCIS that even though his name was spelled incorrectly, IRS accepted the 1040 because I submitted 1040 because the transcript wasn't ready yet. And the day after I uploaded his transcript on USCIS, because it was sitting there for like, I think 3 weeks after I did my biometrics, I'm like, why everybody I know bio today, work permit tomorrow, and mine is just sitting there. The day after I uploaded the transcript, work permit approved. I got my work permit in my hand today. My interview was also scheduled today.
See, we're not telling a lie. I'm glad Jody, you come up here, come say that, you see.
So I was like, did they just need me to prove that IRS accepted the taxes with the error, or was there something else? Is it that I need to?
Because that's what
is that thing.
everyone.
I'm like, do I need to? I did not give any life insurance. We don't have a policy together. We don't have health insurance together, but we don't have a bank account together. The basic things that people always drill that you should have,
You just don't have.
we just don't have, but we have other things together. We don't have a lease. We live with his mom. She wrote a letter. She's a homeowner, and she provided proof to prove that yes, we do live with her. And I think ChatGPT told me that I could do that, so I submitted that for that. My question is, I've never been into like immigration interview or anything like that. I got my 10-year visa as a child, so I wasn't the one answering the questions. So I'm like completely nervous at the moment. I don't know what to do. No, I did not get any RFEs.
Jody, here's what I want you to do. Book the mock session with Annika. Because she's gonna need you and Justin, Annika. I think you book that mock session with Annika, and that'll give you a lot more clarity, and will give you it'll help you to prepare for that.
Yeah,
So it's
because
basically a simulation where it's mimicking what might happen in that interview. We might go in.
because my interview is less they book it for less than a month from now. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I submitted in March, by the way, March 5th. I submitted on March 5th, and I've been married for 1 year. My anniversary was a few days after I submitted my case. But I do have a child with my husband.
So Cara, she saw what the mistake was and she tried to rectify it.
Yes, I uploaded that. I saw the mistake and I uploaded online in unsolicited evidence. I also have more pictures that I was going to upload, but since they sent me, I got the notification that my interview is there. I'm not gonna upload, so I'm just gonna take those with me. But my thing, I just don't know.
Book. Let me tell
The
you.
nerves are super high because I'm like, I've never done this before. I did this by myself. What if I filled out something incorrectly and they're calling me in for an interview early to say, oh, it was done correctly?
No, you're overthinking it. Everybody getting the same thing. Everybody will file February, March, April already getting interviews. It's not you alone.
Okay.
It's the norm now. That's the new normal.
Yeah, because I know people that have filed and their interviews have not been scheduled and they filed ages ago. I'm like,
No, everybody
Why?
under Trump, like everybody now, all immigrant, all administration is like gonna dip on pause. They don't
Yeah,
be,
like when they
they
pump
don't be
pass,
sitting behind the people them.
they might try to push the orange right memo and his
Because I'm
agenda.
like, wait, why are their case is sitting there? They have
It's
joint bank
sitting there.
accounts, life
It's sitting there
insurance,
for
health
3 months.
insurance, all the things. I'm like, I
All
don't
right,
have
let me show
all of
you
that.
something. Let me tell you something, Jody. There are multiple of my customers who did not have some of these generic evidences. We have to use secondary evidence to build their case because everybody is not going to be the same, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
You need the brainstorm session. Anaka, she need you. Me not me busy. She
Yeah,
need you.
That,
because
no, so me not busy neither. Come talk to me, Jody, and don't
yeah,
worry.
like I have a whole lot of affidavits and
Jody, come
screenshots
talk
and
to me,
stuff that
girl.
can go with those to prove what's in there. But I'm like, it's like I'm at like a complete pause. I'm grateful for my interview. Thank God. I prayed a lot. It's going fast because I
Yeah,
haven't
it
been
is.
I
It
haven't
is.
really been outside my house since January 20th.
Which state are you in?
New York.
Yeah, in
Really?
house color. Yeah, in a lock up in a house for.
Jody, why am I
Because
so sad?
I live in an area where the ICE has been
I know you
driving around
really wanted to sleep.
and stopping people. Like they're stopping people on the road. They're going into like houses like close to where I live. So I'm like, I'm not risking going outside and getting caught outside.
Well, they have a good husband, yeah, man, Jody, and Jody.
And trust me, prayer has been my best friend. And even my work permit, the day when it got approved, I was sleeping. My husband left for work at 4:30 in the morning. After he left, I was still like half awake, half asleep. It's like I'm dreaming. I'm like, oh, I wake up, my phone buzzed off. I check my phone. I had an email or something. I was there. I woke up about 8 o'clock in the morning. Normally, as I wake up, I check my phone, tracker app, and my email to see if there's anything. That day, I went straight on TikTok, scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. I got an email. Clicked it, work permit. I'm like, I was literally just dreaming that my permit got approved, and it got approved as I woke up, just like in my dream.
But Carrie,
So
come
people,
reach out to one away.
I will. I will
Yeah.
definitely do that. Is the link like in your bio or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
click
In the
on it and
bio.
you can book it. But Jody, do the brainstorm session with her because you can build out like a secondary evidences,
Uh-huh.
right? And you'll be fine with that. And then do the mock interview
Mock
session.
interview.
Yeah.
It'll be you and your spouse.
Okay.
All
All
right,
right.
Jody.
Thank you
Thank you so
guys.
much for coming up. All right. So besties, me and my uncle have a couple minutes. I come at my friend yard. I'm sit on her yard. I'm do my live. Because she had already texted me a whole message that I could come here and do a live, even though she never sent it to me. But besties, all I'm gonna say is this. My parting words, and I know Tanya will have some parting words for you, is again, everybody's situation is different based on what has been happening since January that Tanya and I see every time a case get approved for me and me. I call Tanya and I say, Tanya, look here, based on certain things, right? And then she will call me and say, Annika, this happened. I say, yeah. So we correspond and we try to compare certain things. And we have a theory and the theory soon come out. She have the theory and me
Of
have
the
the
theory. Yes.
soon come out. The theory soon come out. But keep in mind, if you're going to file, just make up your mind and file. But also make sure that you're putting your evidences together properly. If you feel like you don't have any evidences and you're trying to brainstorm, you're trying to figure it out, Tanya page did it, my page did it. The link is in the bio. You guys can go and buy our checklist. Notice how you hear people come on and say them watch your page, or them buy the checklist, or them do something related to, purchasing something from us and helping themselves out. In the last part of it, a lot of persons come and they do their mock interview, right? And they're successful. So it's one of those things. Prepare, prepare, prepare. In seventh grade, when I just went to Merrill Grove High School, they said to me, if you prepare for what did I say? If you prepare for come, tell me the saying again, Tanya.
If
Tell me
you're
the saying
prepared to
again.
fail, you fail to prepare. So I
Prepare.
know.
No, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. That was the first thing that seventh grade farm teacher told us. Right? So you're all in the chat. Please, may I beg you there. Prepare yourself for your interviews. Notice how the USCIS man come in here and say they're trained to detect fraud. Right? That's what they're trained to do. So you can't just take up any pile of garbage and give to them and think that it's going to pass. Right? So Vanessa said, prepare to fail, then you'll fail to prepare. All right, Sonny, you give the people them your last words. Justin, come say hi to the people and since you're still running this time.
You mean taking care of her child?
Hear him.
And apologizing for years, you know.
No, Charity said I could do my live. Right, Charity? Yes.
All right. Goodbye, people. Goodbye, Tennille.
Goodbye. And guys, I'm not telling you again. You see, when Justin answer the phone, I beg you, please don't hang up on my husband.
You're gonna hang up on me.
Didn't think a wrong number.
You think that's scam?
Yeah, I've answered the phone twice, and I'm like, Immigration Help 101. How can I help you?
I'm like, we don't know this voice.
They make a dial tone. Justin get a dial tone just straight hang up.
Yep.
And you have to call him back.
Them
That's
like,
the
man. But anyway, guys, listen, as Annika said, same thing. Prepare. If you've filed your case since Trump took over, so if your case been filed since February and it's pending, more than likely your interview is going to be scheduled soon. If you know you didn't submit enough evidence, work on those things. You don't want to be running around like a headless chicken after your interview is scheduled, right? Because if I was an officer, I'll be like, wait, why did you get everything when your interview is scheduled, right? So you definitely want to really take a look into what you've done. And if you're having issues kind of like assessing and you're not sure, book a brain session with me, book a brain session with Annika, and we can take you through. We're fast in your business. We see what you're really doing, and we try to do a customized list of things, because sometimes, guys, you already have the stuff. You don't have the something that you know, or just think to say, weird.
Not think about it.
Yeah, or not think about it. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you through the process. All right, guys, that's it.
All right, besties. So until next time, I'll be here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday night. This is our Friday night that we have. That persons come up, they share their experience about their interviews, or just overall just share their experience about their immigration journey. Right? So until then, go follow me on YouTube for the replay. All right,
I do paperwork. I don't have my story about 15 years old. My story is still. My story is still, but I do paperwork.
You do paperwork before me, my love.
Paperwork about 10 years now, guys.
Daniel is doing paperwork long time. Yeah, be able to this.
What?
Well, maybe be 3 years now to this. I send big up. Nick, come say to the people and we can't sell it over. So my best year.
Passa. What I'm just saying.
One piece of passa.
It's not for sale though, guys. It's not for sale. All right. Love y'all people until Tuesday. Big up on yourself, on a nice clean self. Bye.
Bye. Have a good night. Bye, guys.
Wait.